For now, it's my pleasure to invite Dr. Sam Ekwueme, who is representing the Minister of Federal Ministry of Budget, National Planning. That is Hon Prince Clem Agba, the Minister of State, represented by Dr. Sam Ekwueme for his goodwill message. Please, sir, if you're here, a round of applause as he steps forward. You're welcome, sir.
Good morning, all. May I stand on existing protocols? I'm here representing Prince Clem Agba, the Honorable Minister of State for Budget and National Planning, who is unavoidably absent due to some other engagement. So he sends his greetings. I am pleased to welcome you to this event of Access to Finance Dialogue with the theme Financial Inclusion in Northeast Nigeria. Do disruptive technology hold promise? This is indeed another laudable initiative implemented by MESIC Corps and funded by the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, leading a consortium of International Fertilizer Development Center and Save the Children International. I understand that this is a 5-year activity to be implemented across 4 northeast states of Adamawa, Borno, Gombe, and Yobe, with a clear-cut objective of facilitating economic recovery and growth in vulnerable, conflict-affected areas through the promotion of systematic change in market systems, thus ensuring a long-term improvement to market that will sustainably move over or close to 600,000 participants out of chronic poverty and vulnerability. Of course, this aligns with government's commitment of lifting 100 million Nigerians out of poverty in 10 years. So you can see why government, this aligns with what we're doing in government. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, financial inclusion has continued to assume an increasing recognition across the globe among policymakers, researchers, and development-oriented agencies. The importance of this sector of the economy is underscored by the promise it holds as a tool for economic development, particularly in the area of poverty reduction, employment generation, wealth creation, and improving welfare and general standard of living. That's why we consider this very important. It is gladdening to note that this initiative will complement the effort of extending the financial inclusion bracket within the economy, hence translating to better well-being of its citizens. This dialogue could not have come at a better time than now, when the present administration is working tirelessly to sustain and improve on the progress made in the last 7 years. I'm therefore optimistic that building and sustaining this strategic partnership with you is one of the surest ways of achieving our desired destination of a prosperous nation. Let me, on behalf of the government of Nigeria, acknowledge and appreciate the continuous support of the donor communities in Nigeria, MESI Corp included, and other donors that are here present. It is essential to note that we have a long-standing bilateral development cooperation that is based on mutual trust, respect, and understanding for over a decade. We cannot, at this trying time, claim that government can completely solve all the problems confronting this nation. And I can assure all of us that we will continue to stay the course and commit ourselves to this journey of transformative growth and development to all the states of the Federation. We are making progress towards financial inclusion through policies delivered at scale, such as universal digital ID. You cannot be talking of financial inclusions if you don't have digital IDs. We are also allowing mobile financial services to thrive, and we are really promoting mobile financial services in this country. We are also promoting new business models, such as leveraging e-commerce data for financial inclusion. We're also taking strategic approach by developing a national financial inclusion strategy, which brings together diverse stakeholders, including financial regulators, telecommunication, competitors, and education ministry. I'm sure the CBN has talked elaborately on this, but at the government level, we are focused as policies. This, in addition to the above, the government has, and I'm sure most of you are all aware, recently launched the new National Development Plan 2021 to 2025. We also have continued to implement the 2030 agenda and the AU Agenda 2063. These plans, as a matter of conscious effort, they are all comprehensive and have the capacity to accelerate the attainment of the various regional and international agendas. Just to talk a little about the ND 2021 to 2025, at federal government level, we are looking at how to grow the economy on a wider scale. That will include every sector of the economy. So the vision of the plan is to make Nigeria a country that has unlocked its potential in all sectors of the economy for a sustainable, holistic, and inclusive national development. Some of the specific targets of the plan are to improve the GDP growth to 5%. I'm sure this is very aggressive, but we are optimistic we'll be able to attain that within the plan period. Generate 25 million jobs, and I'm sure what we are seated here, the financial inclusion, the various sectors, we are very optimistic we'll be able to generate those jobs. And then ultimately within this plan period, we plan to lift at least 35 million Nigerians out of poverty. We are also looking at raising government revenues to 15% of GDP. Today we are very, very low on this. And within this plan period, we should be able to hit the 25% target. All these are aimed at setting the target for achieving government commitment of lifting 100 million Nigerians out of poverty in 10 years. This plan is unique from other previous plans in many respects. I know most people here would say, oh, we've had several plans. Yes, we have had several plans, but this plan itself is a bit unique in the sense that this is the first time we are having Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3. Volume 1 of the plan contains the policies with targets and required investments, okay, which is generally where the previous plan stops. But we've gone further to Volume 2, where we have costed priority programs and projects. So Volume 2 has a detailed costed priority programs and projects that will enable us to achieve those targets that we listed earlier. However, because of the volume of Volume 2, it's not out there in the public domain because real detailed work costed that we hope to execute within the next plan period. We also have Volume 3, which is legal and legislative imperative. We understand why most of our plans have not been successful is due to the number of binding constraints, a lot from policies, a lot from legal restraints, and some other institutional constraints. So we have a Volume 3 that really this is an internal document for government where we've identified certain legal imperatives that need to occur for we to unlock those or achieve those growth potentials. Generally, in addition to those 3 volumes, let me just say that the plan has a robust mechanism to engage, empower, and employ our teeming, energetic youth. We recognize that the future, we have a huge youth population, and we needed to tap that. And to tap that means that every youth must be engaged. In other words, they're either in school, learning, or they are learning skills. If you are not in school, you are learning skills, or you are engaged. In other words, employment, or you are employing. So at some point, you have a very robust plan around engaging the youth. We also have sports as business. Currently sports is more of socials and entertainment. But if you look at Europe and other developed countries, sports is a big business. And this plan has developed a strategy, a mechanism to make sports a big business too. We also focus on integrated rural development and subnational government cooperation and collaboration. There are new chapters dedicated to integrated rural development. The enormity, the benefit is enough. So whether it's northeast, northwest, north central, southeast, we have a lot of rural areas. And why do we have all the urban slum? It's because the rural areas are not developed. And so you have a lot of urban slum. But with what we have in that plan, there will be a lot of focus on integrated rural development. And of course, there is a framework to continue to enhance subnational cooperations, collaboration. For example, we've seen Lagos State and Kebbi State partnering, but we needed to encourage more of such partnerships between the subnationals. Okay? We also have a very strong implementation framework and a strengthened national monitoring and M&A system. So these are some of the things that is different. A very strong implementation framework that will help achieve that. So overall, the country can achieve these targets through an inclusive economic growth and development, leveraging its young force. So I think we'll continue to emphasize this young force. They're doing a lot in the fintech and in other areas. So we'll continue to leverage those sectors or those young people. The plan also focuses on identifying and removing binding constraints to growth, as well as mobilizing resources for sustainable development of the country. With this plan, the federal government intends to progressively continue to increase the capital component of its budget and reduce spend on recurrent expenditure. So there is a significant plan to reduce recurrent expenditure and then increase the capital expenditure. This is also contained in that plan and the strategies for achieving that. So I encourage all of us here to please take a look at that plan, kind of internalize it, and see all the opportunities for both the private sectors. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are in the process of finalizing the development of the Nigeria Agenda 2050, which is the country's perspective plan to succeed in Nigeria Vision 2020. I therefore enjoin you as critical stakeholders to continue to work closely with government to deliver on the implementation of both plans. So, Nigeria Agenda 2050 will soon be finalized, which is the long-term vision for the country. Nigeria has great investment potential with large market size based on its population and the willingness of government to create the enabling environment that will attract both local and foreign investment. Before concluding this remark, let me reiterate our resolve to continue to promote good governance, which is an important enabler of economic growth and development. We have particularly sustained our efforts to improve transparency and accountability by blocking leakages, reducing wastages and tax evasion, and fighting corruption. This has been one of Mr. President's campaign promises, and we are keeping to our words. We are institutionalizing reforms that focus on intensifying efforts to detect diversion of public resources to private wealth and punishing culpable institutions and individuals. I mean, you will all bear witness to this. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I once again welcome you to this important session and wish you very successful deliberations. Thank you for your attention.